Oxytocin is a hormone which gets released only with a physical sense of touch. So you need to have those kind of people around you that you can hug, you can hold, and you can say, these are my people. So there's no emotion which is a good emotion. There's no emotion which is a bad emotion as an absolute. They are beneficial emotions or they're afflictive emotions depending on the situation that I'm going through. So have an awareness of what is the emotion that you have.
They say trust is the glue of life. But today, trust is also like a paper. Till the time it's neat and fresh, once it is crumbled, no matter what we do, we can't bring it back.
We are the only animals in the animal kingdom who are born unfinished on this planet. If you look at every other animal, within a few of them, within a span of 1 hour, they can survive by themselves. Few of the elephants or whatever, they can start walking by themselves. And probably in a couple of months, any animal will become independent. We humans are very unfinished when we are born. And this is one of the main reasons why we sit on top of the food chain too. Habit stacking is something which really comes in handy for me as well. If I want to build a new habit, I don't keep it silo. I stack it with something else that I regularly do. As simple as anything that I'm trying to build, if I want to do it early in the morning, I say before I brush my teeth, I'll do this.
Is there anything that one should do apart from all that you mentioned during your morning routine? Like you basically have your, what's the word?
Metacognition and tracking.
Metacognition and tracking and meditation, a lot of things. And for the other ones, all the tools that you've given, right? So like at times, it's always theory. When it comes to practicality, how do I always navigate with these conscious choices? Any tips on that?
Why am I trying to do this? So I'll again answer it from why. Why would I want to do this? Is because I want to become a better person. Which is I'm trying to change my personality or my character itself. To change a person's personality, to change a person's character, we think it's such a huge job to become a better person. No, it's the smaller pebbles. To change a person's personality, you have to work on your character. To change your character, the only way is through your habits. Every single day, you make choices of habits of responding to life differently. That becomes your default. You're a default today in anger. You're a default today to cry. You're a default today to get anxious. You've trained yourself. You might say anything else, but sorry, you've trained yourself saying, for me, this lion means I have to fight. For me, this lion means I have to freeze. It's wrong. That lion should not have come. I'm not even denying it. But you've trained yourself to do that, right? Now, when you've trained yourself to do that, the same way, you have to untrain. So you have to build a new habit. So in those little moment by moment, you have to do this. So if I want to become a better person in this year, like how probably if it was a physical exercise, you would, if you want to run a 10-kilometer marathon in 6 months from now, you'll not practice that day. You'll start practicing 6 months before, 100 meters, 200 meters, you get better. If you want to go to the gym, you don't go lift dead weight on the first day. You start with small dumbbells. The same way, every single day, do these tiny practices and stack them in your habits. And tell yourself, saying, before I brush my teeth, I also have to do my emotional hygiene. I have to build this as a habit. So
Can you throw some light on stacking? What does it mean?
I think like we were also talking about this earlier, like how it's also mentioned in Atomic Habits. Habit stacking is something which really comes in handy for me as well. If I want to build a new habit, I don't keep it silo. I stack it with something else that I regularly do. As simple as anything that I'm trying to build, if I want to do it early in the morning, I say before I brush my teeth, I'll do this. Because I have this thing of I have to brush my teeth. I have to brush my teeth as soon as I wake up. So before you brush your teeth, if you do it, your possibility of completing it regularly is very, very high. So every single day, I start stacking it there. Now that it's become a part of me, I've understood in my morning routine that I know I can do metacognition, I can do tracking. I want to add something else to it, like I want to also do Surya Namaskar. So I'll say metacognition, Surya Namaskar, then brush your teeth.
So it's like the metaphor I gave. If I have to give a command to my dog, it will listen to me only because it knows that if it follows, it will get a treat later.
Yeah.
So same way, we have to train ourselves.
Yes, that's the easiest way. People think I can't change. All of us can change. You can change. I can change. We've all been changing. And a lot of these changes is by default. by allowing that hunter-gatherer brain to behave however it wants to behave. Take control. But it's too difficult. Don't do it in too many places. Start in tiny moments, whatever you're doing. Every time I react like this, every time I get anxious, ground. Before you speak, ground. Get yourself collected. Now speak. Every time I keep crying. Okay, you started crying. You understood you've started crying by doing your tracking. Immediately, right now, go wash your face. Go for a walk. You have to retrain a new pattern. In 6 months from then, you're no more a crybaby. You're no more an angry person. But it's the effort. It's every single day making that choice.
Thank you, Krupalini. With this understanding, now of late I've been stumbling upon lot of books and lot of audio material which is talking about the power of subconscious mind. All right. So now I have a doubt, all of that you've spoken so far, this is the syllabus to handle the conscious mind, or is this a syllabus to handle subconscious mind or the analytical mind? There are three things here, right?
Yeah.
Like, now, could you please help me understand this?
Okay. You drive a car, Rashmi?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember the days that you went for driving classes?
Yeah.
Can you explain how was it to do the reverse gear?
Oh, crazy. I remember near Forum, right, Bangalore. After my first few sessions, I've taken off a Maruti 800. Frantically, signal goes green. And the car is going back. And I just froze.
Yeah.
And I had to put the handbrake. Somebody who was more experienced had to come over and take over. And this is what...
Yeah. So you know how difficult it was, right? Today, let's say you're on the road. Do you have the same conscious awareness of driving? Do you know which distance you're traveling? Are you completely aware? At times you'll be lost in your thought and you would reach home.
Yeah. So it happens, I don't give in my thought there. Right?
Yeah.
Autopilot mode is taking over, looks like.
Yeah. So that autopilot mode is a subconscious wiring, which happens by default. I'll tell you both from Western and Eastern perspective. Eastern science, when we learn anything, they always tell this, and this is very beautiful. I somehow feel, we Indians have gotten to this state where we think everything, the answers will come from the Western world, but the Eastern world has always been saying it. So I'll give you an adaptation of it.
Sorry, what as Indians, what are we? We are Eastern, right?
We are Eastern, yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Eastern also talks about our ancient philosophies.
Yes.
All our Buddhas, all our rishis, and all your Japanese.
Yes, all of this. This is Eastern science. Okay,
Cool.
China, Japan, Southeast Asia, everything, the Eastern part. Now, whenever we learn something, especially in yoga and in different forms in Eastern science, we say learning happens in 3 stages. First stage is Shravan. Shravan is listening. I'm listening to whatever this person is telling. I'm just listening and I think I know it.
Mm-hmm.
The second stage to this is Manan. Manan is trying to understand what I heard. I'm like, okay, I heard something. What does this mean? I'm sitting with myself and I'm interpreting it. The third stage to this is Dhyana, wherein I meditate over this knowledge. I can now dissect dimensions and depths of all of this, and I can see this through different lenses.
This is what scientists do. As in, like PhD and all of that. Their level, they sit and dissect.
They dissect it. If it is the scientists also. So whenever we speak about learning, in the Eastern science, they've always said, which level are you in? Shravan, Manan, Dhyana, can you take it till there? That's why people who do talk the talk will probably be in Manan level or the Dhyana level. The walk the talk, people who are just talk the talk people will be in the Shravan. Walk the talk will be on the topper side. The same thing happens with regard to Western science as well. One is getting the knowledge. You're listening to knowledge. So you're listening to podcasts, everything. The second stage to learning in Western science is critical thinking, where you get aha moments. Wherein you're like, okay, I heard this. What does this mean? Aha, okay, it could mean this also. Oh, it's that also. You're getting critical insights of knowledge.
Like, hey, I didn't think of this before. How I wish I could have done this.
Yeah.
Okay.
The reason I'm doing that is because I'm engaging with that knowledge. If I just heard the audiobook, I just read the book, I wouldn't know that at all. Because I'm engaging with that knowledge, I'm thinking about whatever that is. So from listening, I now have gone to the next stage where it is about critical
Manan.
insights.
Yep.
The next level of this is embodied understanding, where you embody the understanding of that topic so much that you can flip it, you can tear it, you can do everything, and you're like, I'll bring it back to this. So a few of us will have this tendency of, you ask them anything, they'll take it to wherever they want to take it to, and they will dissect it in their language. So this could be experts in any field. You show them anything, they will take it to their field only, and they will dissect, they'll pull it open, and they'll see layers of it. This is embodied understanding. We can go deep down into knowledge the way that I spoke now, or we can go horizontally flat.
What's the difference?
Both of it is okay. Both of it has its own pros and cons. If you go horizontally flat, your perception builds on multiple different things. Like today, although I'm a socio-emotional skills trainer, I read a lot of research related to neuroscience. I spend a lot of time on brain chemistry. Why? Because I like going flat on certain things. I want to know what's happening on the other fields.
So you're widening the base.
Correct.
And the other case, you're taking one particular thing and then going
deeper. Yeah. Okay. So you can choose to do learning in both forms. You can do either go flat up. So that's why I kind of do the disclaimer in the beginning. I'm like, there can be a lot more, because I know that there is a lot more. And there is no human being today who can give you all the information from everywhere. A specialist in neuroscience will talk from neuroscience. I'll speak from SEL. Another person will speak from psychology, psychiatry. So you can go horizontal. Having horizontal gives you perspectives. Going deep down makes you the master of the trait. So you should know when to go deep down, when to go horizontal. But horizontally, if you're always speaking, people will be able to see through you. So you can listen to audiobooks, you can watch books, you can read books, you can do everything. But it really depends on what are you trying to get out of it. But as long as you're learning, I'm so glad if people are reading a book, please read. Whichever be the book, please read. As long as it's helping you, it's good. Only thing to be careful about related to books, because we are speaking, is be careful about fiction books, because fiction books is exactly the same thing like how we spoke about watching
Netflix.
TV shows. I'm reading a fiction book. This is such a beautiful book. It feels very nice to me today because I'm in that set of mind today. My mindset is like that. I feel it's very nice. But imagine I'm going through something similar to whatever the protagonist is going through here. I will indulge myself in it. And then my thoughts, everything will change. My emotions, my sensations.
I become the character and I start living it. There is no separation and anything can go wrong.
Yes. So always pick a book which challenges your thoughts. Even in terms of fiction, try doing that. Or try picking up something. The easiest choices of books is Ruskin Bond books. Ruskin Bond books are very flat. He does not push you into hyper or hypo. There is no epiphanies that he takes you through. It's not strong epiphanies. You feel like it's normal life. And I always tell people saying, learn to understand what is normal life. The moment life becomes normal, we start making it faster. And then we again go in front of God and say, hey God, make my life better. I want to have a normal life. But we don't have the meaning of it. So I think Ruskin Bond books is a good option.
So I'm not sure if this is right. An opposite to this could be Sidney Sheldon. Some of his books, like it's hyper.
Yeah. And also Dan Brown books, including Harry Potter books. You look at Harry Potter. With Harry Potter, we go up, we go down, we go up, we go down. So it really depends on your capacity of your rubber band. If your rubber band does not have that capacity, please don't go there. Because the moment you snap, you'll snap in real life.
So true. Now we can sit and reflect back on how our Ruskin Bond can be equated to our 70s and 80s ka content which was coming through Doordarshans and your films, to what it is through OTTs and everywhere. I think it's slowly mirroring the same effect.
That's because what's happening is there's so much information produced, and imagine, like, let's say I start showing you something normal. The brain does not want to listen to normal. It knows it. You show it something it does not know, it'll want to understand it. And when you're showing something it does not know, what does it want to see more of? It'll listen very carefully if there is danger. So that is why there's so much negative news, negative stuff, negative things which is coming up. And we kind of get used to it and then we burrow ourselves into it and then we keep going into that rabbit hole and it's a never-ending chase. It's a choice. We should learn to choose what am I feeding? what am I giving my brain as food? Is it the fast food or am I giving the salad? At times salad looks boring, but for longer life, that's the option to go into.
Amazing. With your journey, I guess now you are also taking courses, like which is the ABC course, right?
Yes.
I mean, it's quite an interesting name, very easy to remember. With so much that you've helped us understand emotions, body, and all of that. So much has already been shared here. Now I'm curious to know what's happening with ABC course and who is it for? Why did you design it? What's that?
Okay, so ABC of emotional intelligence is my introspection and my way of presenting emotional intelligence to the world. So whenever we try to understand emotions, we try to navigate it in multiple different perspectives. Like today itself, we tried so many things that we've been trying and talking about, right? So whenever we try to understand emotions and we're trying to build our perception of emotions, it happens in 3 stages according to me. First and foremost, can you bloody even tell what's the emotion you're processing? Many people don't even know what's the emotion. They will just be carried away with it. Do you have an awareness of that emotion? What are you processing right now? What emotion has come up for you? The second stage to it is learning to balance yourself in that emotion. No emotion is good or bad. All emotions are good. All emotions are bad. Being happy in a grieving home is bad. Although we say be happy all the time. You can't be going into a grieving home and saying, oh, it's so good that this person has passed away. People will laugh at you. They'll say, what's wrong with you? So there's no emotion which is a good emotion. There's no emotion which is a bad emotion as an absolute. They are beneficial emotions or they're afflictive emotions depending on the situation that I'm going through. So have an awareness of what is the emotion that you have. Learn to balance yourself in that emotion and try to take control of your life through that emotion in day-to-day time. That is ABC of emotional intelligence, which I currently run.
A for awareness, B for balance, C for control. ABC.
Yes. So I felt it's an easier terminology to remember, and that's how I named it. So this course, we have been doing it in India for the last 1 year or so, and we have had around 9,000 participants come and learn. So yeah, that's what we do. This is an online course, so people can always look for me on social media. There will be a link which will be available, and they can enroll for that. But what I've seen is when we speak about emotions, the more that we do it in person, it's much more better than to have sit through a screen and to talk, because a lot of times my cues come to me of how the people are understanding based on their body language. But if you're sitting in a Zoom call, I'll not know if they're understanding or not understanding. And I like the traditional way of going back and doing in-person sessions. So the second level of ABC right now is we've started doing in-person sessions. And the first one, because this is my home ground, this is Bangalore where I was born in. So the first one is happening on the 20th of April in Bangalore. And
what happens there? It's a day-long event?
It is an event where we start at 2:30 with registrations, go up to 7 o'clock in the evening. And we will make sure that we have covered everything that we've spoken about here and a lot more to make sure we give them tools to go back and practice the tools with me. This will have a good high tea as well, where we get to meet like-minded people. I feel one of the main reasons that we are really going wrong with emotions is we did not touch base on this. But whatever emotion learning that I'm doing, we think it's just emotions. Emotions are learned through social circles. That's why it is socio-emotional skills. Imagine I was a lonely kid. I was left as a kid alone and elsewhere. I wouldn't be processing all these emotions the way that I'm processing today. I will have traits of those emotions, but I'll not be processing it. How do I learn? I learn through social life.
Like
interacting.
Looking around.
Correct.
Mingling with people. So what my environment is.
Correct. Nurture. So I'm nurturing my emotions through that. And a lot of times I always say this, you don't heal in places that you got hurt. People hurt you and you go back and tell them saying, you only make me get better. Probably they don't have the capacity. Having good people around you. So we had this great culture earlier again in the Eastern world where we used to dwell on having good communities, like-minded people coming together, doing things together, the vatarams in which we used to stay. We used to have a support structure.
In the evening they all used to sit out, just talk about life.
Yeah.
And even Ikigai's book
Yes.
speaks about
Yes.
the same. Like
Ikigai speaks about this. Ikigai is an adaptation of the Japanese culture. But there is a study, for those of them who would be interested, there's a study called the Blue Zone study. Blue Zone is where the same thing has been followed across the world and people have been living for a very long duration of time. This is a study of saying, how is it that people are living for this long? What's the reason for them to live for this long? So, one of the commonalities of all these blue zones is a sense of belonging, knowing that I have a community of people. So yeah, the reason I'm talking about this, to going back to what we were saying, I think I also want to create that community structure. So that's why coming in person really makes a whole lot of a difference. So we're going to have a great high tea. We're going to do a lot of tools together. We're going to talk about emotions. I feel emotions has to be brought into the forefront and has to be celebrated, spoken about in all forms and in all ways possible. So Bangalore is going to be the first place that we're going to be hosting it.
Especially in this digital era.
Yeah.
Where, even a table conversation is becoming tough because somebody is WhatsApping, somebody is busy through reels.
Yeah.
Slowly the digital world is taking over, and I think the need is more
very true. Oxytocin, if you want it. Oxytocin is a hormone which gets released only with a physical sense of touch. So you need to have those kind of people around you that you can hug, you can hold, and you can say, these are my people. And the more we age, the more it becomes difficult to make friends. If you made a friend as a teenager, maybe if you've retained them, then they're your lifetime friend. But imagine a few of us who didn't have the capacity to make friends then, or we did not make friends then. Now in the 30s and in the 40s, it feels like, oh my God, whom do I go talk about all this to? So you go back to the same places where they're hurting you and talking to them and telling, help me to get better. So having spaces where you can talk and do things together is very, very good. So one community that I can provide is related to emotions. Other than that, whatever communities that you people can build, I always suggest people saying build communities and stay with communities. So you know that even when something hits, you have a support structure. And that's when you can stay in that resilient band without snapping. You need to know that you're safe.
Yeah. Talking about trust, Krupalini, they say trust is the glue of life. But today, trust is also like a paper. Till the time it's neat and fresh. Yeah. Once it is crumbled, no matter what we do, we can't bring it back. And there are better metaphors like trust is like a mirror. Yeah. Once shattered, you can never build back. So in an era wherein there are Gen Zs, everything is fast-paced. Nobody is doing things it used to be the way before. Like the culture is very different. Fast fashion, fast relationships, rentals, and nobody is sticking to loyalty.
Yes.
Also, again, trust being a problem. With this environment, here we are now talking about how communities and all of that is so important because emotionally, we are emotional beings. Now, this is like a railway track. Don't you think? Like, how does it converge? Like, how to navigate this?
I think trust is a very slippery slope because I might come into the relationship, like let's say you and me are in a relationship, Rashmi. I might come into a relationship with a baggage of interpretation of what trust is. And you might be coming in from a very healthy space of what trust is. And now, let's say, for example, I had relationships in my life where people would have cheated on me. And the last couple of breakups is because I saw that something really bad happened to me because I trusted somebody and that person kind of did things that was not right. Today, when I call you and I saying, I call you and you don't answer the call, for my brain does not know anything else. It just knows to go back to that previous state of Krupalini, careful. It is the same pattern repeating. I will not even be able to trust you in this moment. So if you look at what's happening with the generations also is probably because the trust has been broken multiple times because of the way that relationships have been operating. And that unsafe zone is why makes me stay in relationships like this, wherein, I don't want to commit. I don't want to commit to saying that I don't want to emotionally be available to you, but I'm
get
still in a
cheated later.
relationship with you. So I'm on and off in relationships. So there's a word for it. I think that's situationship. So situationship is a new kind of relationship people have today, wherein it is about me and you being in a relationship, but we don't call it a relationship. For this situation, it is very nice to be with you. Emotionally, I'm not attached to you. And this is something that's predominantly followed in the younger generations. They don't commit. They say, I'm not committed to you. You do whatever you want to do. I do whatever I want to do. But as long as we can hold it, we hold it. And then when it is not there, it's not there. So, why? Because of a lot of things that's happened, society, how it's changed, how it's evolved. So, trust is a very slippery slope. The only way to build this, before the only way to build it, why should you build it? Is if you don't trust people, you'll always feel unsafe. And you'll always feel, I'm the only one who has to lift the weight. And me being the only one to lift the weight, my amygdala will get hijacked as regularly as possible. So every little thing will hijack me. Because I'm the only one. So I have to be more cautious. What
happens then to the body?
The same thing. When the hijack happens, then it tells fight, flight, freeze or fawn, depending on whatever my amygdala thinks that situation is. It'll tell me to fight it or flight it, go into the high zone, or it'll push me into the low zone.
So how do we help people who've gone through these patterns? Like how does the gear shift?
Perspective building of saying that is one, but I know that there is also possibilities. What are these possibilities? I know that people cheat on each other. So the same example that I was giving you. Try to look for people who've gone through it and come out of it better. Spend more time with them. Read about relationships. Meet people who have healthy relationships. Even if it means that you have to travel across Bangalore city for 3 hours to meet that couple, go meet that couple. Because they will show you saying, look, there is this perspective. So the next time when your brain is making a choice, it'll say it could be this perspective or it could be that perspective. That's the only way you can train it. But trust is something that has to be built over a period of time. You have to give it to yourself as an opportunity saying, I want to try. And the other person who probably took your trust for granted, if you still want to continue the relationship with them, you have nothing to do with it. It's the other person's job to build the trust back. What people usually say is, my partner said sorry to me, and after that I'm not able to forget, and my partner keeps saying, why are you not forgetting? Sorry. It's your partner's responsibility to make you feel safe. It is not your responsibility to feel safe and to make your partner feel safe. They broke the trust. It is on them to build it back. But yeah, from your side, when they're doing it, take those actions into account. Give them time. How much time, Krupalini? They gave me a sorry. Is that enough? No. It might be a sorry is enough for few of us. For few of us, it takes 6 months. For few of us, it remains as a scar. But that's a choice that's happened in the relationship. But the person who made the mistake has to build it back. So yeah, if you really want to feel safe and secure, you should have trustworthy people around you. That's the bottom line. Otherwise, we always will be agitated. We'll be like, what if? And that what if will not even let us sleep.
So with trust, I mean, there are 2-3 tools that people have tried to stay connected with. One could be journal, like, when they don't trust the world, they still want to pour in their thoughts. One is the journaling. And before I get into journaling, because I know the stationery brand that you have, which is a Tall Elephant, right? You have these journals, you have these emotional wellness products that is out, which will touch. Another website is the Reddits and the Quoras of the world today, wherein people are trying to test the waters through people's experience, like what you just told, no? Physically go and meet people, but parallelly, if not that, at least this. What are your thoughts on Reddits and the Quoras, wherein there are random threads about everything under the sun today? So is it helping or is it hurting perspectives more?
Usually what happens is, if let's say we usually go closer to what we believe in. It is as simple as that. So we might get carried away unless we don't have an awareness of saying, okay, this is a perspective I'm taking. Otherwise, the usual tendency is whatever I believe in, I start following those threads and falling into that same trap. Is it good? Is it not good? in my personal opinion, as long as it's vetted, you know that this is a good place, then it's okay. But if you look at how Reddit works or how Quora works, you don't know if this is vetted piece of information. Anybody can write anything and any information can be there. People can say it could be this, it could be that. Even gossip threads are there. So it's not
There are
okay.
whistleblowers. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody is on the same. So you're just saying, okay, see, but make a conscious choice.
Make a conscious choice. Always have the awareness of this could be a perspective. I have my equanimity. I know this is what it is. Okay, I heard you, but take that perspective. If you don't take that perspective, then you have a narrowed mind and you don't know what that could be. That's a good learning. Then make a choice. But you should always think before you make a choice. I think that's the bottom line of it, Rashmi. And even with journaling, I think that's the same thing that I'm trying to build with our community of journaling enthusiasts as well. Wherein every day I try and tell them saying, journal every day. Every day get into a habit of, talking to yourself. Because it builds awareness. It tells you, look, this is what you're thinking. This is what your day is looking like. It's like a mirror to you. It might not give you answers directly, but it'll definitely show you what's happening to you. And people will have the, have the habit of saying, I know what I think. No, you don't know what you think. Throughout the day, there's so much that you're thinking. There's so much that's happening. You need to know how to look at it. And if you have the right journaling prompts, like if you look at it with TTE, we've put a lot of effort to figure out every page by page of what should be there. What should we make people think about every day at the end of the night, at the end of the day.
What's TT? Sorry.
Tall elephant. Yeah. So we don't just say do a brain dump of what's happened during the day. We then ask them, immediate next follow-up question is, can you think of a moment of happiness that you had that day? So this gives you an opportunity of saying, hey, look, although the day was bad, I'm questioned. Now I have to think. There should be something that made me feel happy. If I'm not finding it regularly, which means I have to start looking for it in my day because I have to fill it up in my journal. I can't leave this blank. From there, we again take them to the next dimension of saying, tell me what all emotions you felt that day. So it's not like my day was good or bad. Through the day, what all did you feel? What all emotions did you feel? Mm-hmm. Now imagine you have this data for a period of 3 months or 6 months. It gives you complete clarity of what emotions are you processing. And we also carry, take this forward to gratitude journaling. We talk about what all food have you eaten, everything. And every once a month, we sit down together as a community. And I tell them, now dissect your data. I see during my PMS time, I go down. I have anger. I have irritation. So go take a look at what do you do with PMSing time, which is your input of saying, now my PMS is coming in. I have to start doing my grounding properly. I have to track properly. If I don't do it, I will flip. It gives you an opportunity. I see that there are these days, few days suddenly that I have this kind of an emotion. What did I eat that day? Oh, this is that biryani in the night which is affecting me. I can see that constant is just biryani. Next month, watch. See if you can take biryani out, if this will change. Oh, I see that there are certain days that there are these kind of emotions that I'm feeling. I can see it in my chart very clearly. What happened on these days? Oh, when I come in interaction with people like this, I feel sad. I have to start avoiding it. Your own life reflection starts giving you information. But that will only happen if you fill the sheets. So,
and more importantly, analyze it. Like look at your own analytics and,
Yes.
so that you have a perspective
Yes.
to draw from and change few patterns.
Yes. Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
So what all tools do you all have?
So our flagship is the little black box, which is every once a year, we kind of give it for an entire year of stationery related to emotional wellness that people will need. We open up registrations for it because this is on pre-order only. So we open it up in August, and by October mid, we are almost sold out. And then we just do the shipping to people. So in that kit, we will have a planner tool for people in hypoarousal. It'll really help to keep track of things that you have to follow. A journal, so you have a reflection of things to do. I also like this concept of eat the frog. So every day I ask them to look at what's that one predominant thing that you kind of work on. So our calendar is a little different than all the other calendars that we give people on table calendars. So we give table calendars, we give tools for mind mapping, we have tools for brain dumping. We also have certain things that we call it as everything in between, because even if it does not belong to any of these categories, there is space for your thoughts. So we have a book called Everything in Between. We also this year have incorporated neurographic art.
What's that?
Neurographic art is a form of art which is studied by neuroscientists very, very deeply. So for those of us, although we say mandala drawings is very good, mandala is very good for those of them in hyper. Hyper people will sit on it forever and they'll keep doing. They don't have a problem. So for hyper, I think it's very good to do mandala drawings. Neurographic art is a free form of art, wherein whatever is running in your mind, you just crisscross and draw random lines.
Doodling.
It's not even doodling. You just draw random lines. And wherever the intersection happens, then you start coloring those intersections. So this is you trying to tell yourself, first put everything down onto a paper. Now I'm intervening and creating a cloud in front of me, wherein I know I have this chain of thoughts which is running. I'm not liking it. I want to create a new cloud. I don't want to see anything else. So I'm trying to say, put everything down first and now start looking for wherever the interconnections of the lines happen. You curve them. And wherever the curves have formed, you start coloring them. And you create your own art form out of this. So this has no base to it. This is similar to watercolor painting, where you can't recreate the same thing again, but this is free flow of your thoughts as random lines which comes together. In the randomness, you create beauty. So it's a very, very beautifully read about and researched about art form. So this is something that we've incorporated as a part of TTE's kit this time.
So what happens when I do this? Like the aftermath?
It teaches you to pause. It teaches you to see beauty in imperfections. For many of us, we have this tendency of, when everything gets perfect, I'll be okay. Just perfect it. Why is this like this? Keep this properly. Why is this? Only when this is like this. Okay, now I'm okay. Now I'm okay. But till that, it'll be like, you keep that properly, That is the only thing that I ask for in life. And we do this with personal life, with everything else. OCD is a real disease which comes out of it.
Which has become a buzzword.
Yeah, it's become a buzzword, right? And I think we spoke about it in our previous podcast also. So, so getting over my perfectionism, this helps. This art form really helps. This art form kind of pulls people from hyper to resilience as well. So it's a beautiful art form, and you don't have to be an artist to learn this. And you can be sitting inside a meeting and getting bloody irritated with what's happening, and instead of doodling, you quickly start putting this tiny little art form in your own book. So you kind of come back, you compose yourself. Because you're processing it as a thought. You're like, okay, now I'm drawing random lines. This is randomness. From there, I'm doing the second stage. From there, I'm doing a third stage. This is me building the cloud in front of me. There was a cloud which was irritating me. Now I'm trying to build a new cloud. I'm trying to tell myself, leave that thought. Come into this thought. Come into this thought. And this thought will show me beauty in imperfection.
So is it a mandate that I have to buy the tool, or I can start doing on a random piece of paper and a pen?
There is enough on YouTube. I think we can start doing it by ourselves. The reason that we have it in our kit also is because we also have an art therapist in-house who will also train people to work on this. So yeah, that's the reason that we have it in-house. But yeah, there is enough and more content out there. I think content ke liye, everywhere there is content. So you go research, you'll ask for the word, it'll take you there.
Like a toothbrush for your teeth.
Yes.
Like a broomstick to keep the home clean. These tools are the ones which are enabling your mind to function to its fullest potential.
Yeah. True.
And be more aware.
Correct.
While doing so.
This is your gymming equipment. So what do you pick as weights every single day? So probably initially journaling itself is enough. Like, I'll only do that bit and I'll run away. So the next time I feel like, no, I think I want to go a little more deeper. Like, I want to tone up this part also. Like, I want to learn to keep quiet. So what will I pick? So pick the next one. start working on the next one too. Add it to this. So it's how you build it. How do you start building and toning yourself? Because by the end of it, this is also a muscle, right, Rashmi?
Absolutely.
So that's why we say it's neuroplasticity. So yeah, the studies used to say that it was only up to the age of 18 that the neuroplasticity of the human brain was very, very good, which meant to say after 18, you're done and dusted for life. You can't change at all. But the good part is now research says it's possible. You have to put a little extra effort, and there is plasticity of that muscle too, but it's similar to any other muscle. As a teenager, you eat Lays, you eat whatever, it doesn't show up on your body. Now you eat one piece of Lays, you know where is it sitting on you. You have to tone it up. As we become older, we tone it. We put that effort. The same way, put the effort. I've been doing it like this forever. That's my default.
So what happens when the neuroplasticity is high and, till 18, are you trying to say it grasps faster, it basically processes things well? Is that part of it?
Yes, it is. We are the only animals in the animal kingdom who are born unfinished on this planet.
As in?
If you look at every other animal, within a few of them, within a span of 1 hour, they can survive by themselves. Few of the elephants or whatever, they can start walking by themselves. And probably in a couple of months, any animal will become independent. We humans are very unfinished when we are born. And this is one of the main reasons why we sit on top of the food chain too. Is because you take a polar bear. A polar bear knows how to survive when it is in Antarctica or in the Arctic region. You take the polar bear and put it in the desert. It does not know what to do. You take a desert animal and put it in Arctic region. It does not know what to do. Take a human being. Put there, put here.
Adapt.
That adaptation capacity is what is the neuroplasticity of the human brain. So till the age of 18, although I'm born on a certain day, the last finishing of my brain development happens by the age of 18. So this is when my entire brain is fully developed. Till the age of 18, I keep learning. So I came as an incomplete book. Life taught me. What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? So that's why till the age of 18, it's very, 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 very high. After that, it reduces it. So it's not that I'm not learning. It is there. But these are strong beliefs that I've already created. I'm not an empty slate anymore. So after 18, you have to unlearn to learn. Before 18, you're learning. So that's why to teach these concepts in schools, it's like quick. If the kid is willing to learn, you just have to make sure that the kid is, excited about what you're teaching, they'll learn. But teach this to an adult, they'll be like, I think I'm done. This lifetime mein ho gaya. I can't do anything else.
It's conditioning.
It's because I've already created my belief system. You have to unlearn first. The challenge is not in learning all this. The challenge is in unlearning this.
So technically after 18, till the time we are all alive, it is a constant challenge to unlearn what you've learned and adapt and keep adding new software, new updates.
Yes. Yeah. You beautifully said that. Yes, I think that's exactly what it is, Rashmi.
Wow.
And that is the difference between, that's the way that you can say somebody has aged gracefully. If you've aged gracefully, you're adapting gracefully. You're understanding what's happening around. You're not stuck in your own beliefs.
You're not
saying
resisting
this is what
change.
You're
not putting yourself in four walls and saying, this is my world.
Yes. I'm trying to change. I'm trying to adapt. What does that mean? I'm trying to teach myself. What does changing mean? I'm trying to show this another perspective. I always see it through this lens. I'm trying to say I'll drop this lens and I'll take that lens and I'll put it up. It takes a lot of effort. So for us in adult life, it's a little difficult, but we can do it.
Absolutely.
We just have to change that tiny habits every single day.
And constantly.
Yes.
Yeah. You spoke about metaphors running up and down here. I was giving a broomstick example, toothbrush, and then eventually it came to the gym. Like gym has three. One is cardio, one is strengthening, and other one is stretching.
Yeah.
So if I have to give the same exercise to the mind, can you give us with the tool saying, what tool strengthens the mind?
That's a nice question. I think stretching is similar to journaling, wherein you're just opening it out and you're just writing down. You're like, okay, this is what it is. But toning it and building the muscle capacity would probably be metacognition. Metacognition and tracking will also do that. Doing this in a moment-to-moment basis probably would be ethical mindfulness, which is the that bodybuilders who can stand there and show and pose and say, look, this is what it is. Ethically mindful person, which is something that we deep dive into in our higher level of concepts that we do in my course. This person is similar to that bodybuilder of saying anything through life, I know how to go through it with heedfulness, being a little more mindful and being more aware. So I think that's what it is. To start with, to answer your question, stretching would be journaling. I think strength training would be metacognition and tracking, and grounding as well. And finally, going into that cardio and running and doing everything on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis, building that capacity would be ethical mindfulness. Wow, that's a nice question that you asked.
Thank you. And Indira Gandhi once said, you can't shake hands with a clenched fist. A metaphor again for anger. I would like to know it from your perspective, since you are the emotional wellness specialist and you train people on socio-emotional being. Correct? In your opinion, what's the toughest emotions humans are trying to deal with every day?
I think all of them will be tough depending on their capacities. So for few of them, fear might look difficult. For few of them, anger might look difficult. For few of them, panic might look difficult. Anxiousness might look difficult. But to answer to the anger question that you asked, here's a very important nuance of anger. Why does a person get angry? Why do you think a person would always be angry? What do you think would be the answer, Rashmi? Why do you think a person gets angry?
Okay, an honest confession.
Yeah.
I used to be an extremely angry person.
Yeah.
Hence, I kind of questioned saying, why am I a certain way? I kind of understood it's a response to a situation that is happening. For example, if I want a particular set to be a certain way, I know that there is an expectation, it's not being met. To that, this is my response. That is anger that is coming.
Very true. Yeah.
So, this is my
anger comes out of it, like you beautifully said, Rashmi. So many people don't even know why are they angry. They live and die like that, and then they die as angry people. Anger is an outcome which comes out of fear. Anger does not stand by itself. Anger comes because it's sitting on fear. Fear of what? You change this. No, I'm not looking. Now I have to put an effort. Or you no more respect me. You don't even understand. I want it like this. Put it back like that. It's the fear of losing control, which is my amygdala hijack. It felt saying, look, this is a lion. That situation is a lion. Somebody changed something which is not normal. I was together. You changed something. That thought now currently is making me feel like you're a lion to me. You're not even listening to this. You made a change. You changed something which was under my control and you made it. You're now making me put an effort to change it, which I'm not willing to put an effort. Why should I put an effort? That is anger. Anger always stems from fear of losing control. So anger cannot exist by itself. So if you are angry, a person who's very well-read or person who's emotionally intelligent or a SEL person or anybody in psychology, psychiatry as well, if a person is getting angry, they will always know. Anger is a form that you're presenting to the world because of an inferiority complex. You're feeling inferior in that moment that you lost control. That inferiority projects as with whatever that you show, because you feel right now I can take this lion down. That's why you go fight it. Few of us will cry. We'll say, why did you change this? Why did you change this? So few of us can go there. Few of us will go into the other mode. So all of these emotions, everything basically comes back to what does your brain add meaning to it? What is your brain's definition of what is happening right now? To this thought, what does your brain define it as? Now, from where does it add that meaning? It adds its meaning from my past experiences. That is why it says this is out of control. This is in control. in that moment, when I know I'm flipping, if I can bring it back, I can build perception of saying, maybe I have to change this person. Maybe it's, the way I communicated is not correct. I'll be able to take a beneficial action instead of losing my cool and losing my energy into it, right? That's that moment that we have to learn to come back. I think anger comes from that space. Anger comes from fear of losing control. And a lot of people who are angry, they'll behave like, they're the lions, but we know it's the cat roaring inside. It's the cat which does not have that capacity. So it's just roaring and making that
No
sound.
wonder they said if you're too loud outside, it means you're too broken inside.
Yeah.
If you're very strong inside, you're just so calm outside is
Yeah.
what they say.
Yeah, very true.
So with all these these emotions that, the toughest emotions
So the toughest could be anything, Rashmi. It really depends on moment to moment of life. There is nothing like this is the tougher one, this is the easier one. For few of us, sadness that might be very, very difficult to process because I don't know how to process sadness. For few of us, depression might be difficult. For few of us, it's anxiety. For few of us, I don't have control over my anger. It could be fear. It could be anything. So we can't classify and say this is the toughest of emotion. Grief could be another emotion where I don't know how to process it. And I think we mentioned this in our previous conversation, right? So we can't point to one emotion and say this is the toughest. It really depends on my capacity of my rubber band.
Is there a wheel of emotions which, one we should, like every day I know, like they say Navaras, like mine. So should I just do a check saying, Acha, listen, today, let me take a audit of what is happening.
What I also do in my journal and I get people to work on is the Navarasas. I say in the day, what all did you process? Start tracking it down. So Navarasas is a good adaptation. I as wherever I get an opportunity for using Eastern science, I will use. So Navarasas is what I have in my journal today. But there are schools of study which have only 5 primary emotions, 7 primary emotions, 9 and 11. So depending on school to school, whichever works for us, we can always pick up. Again, Google it up. You'll find a lot of easy ones. So they can pick up whatever works. I feel if it's the Indian crowd, Navarasas is more easier. So that's why I use Navarasas in my journals as well.
So how should we do it? Especially keeping the corporate thing set up today, because people are remotely working. People are asked to do the hybrid work, like forced to come to office. Bangalore traffic. I mean, Bangalore as an example. India today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a different animal altogether. Every city is different. So keeping this in mind and the social media thing, any advice for our working generation, working crowd to take a check of their emotions and what should they do every day?
Many things, but all of them do them in simple bits. Don't do them in very, very quick things, and don't do it in the morning or just in the evening and say that this is done. A few things that we can definitely try and do is between meetings, try taking a walk. Try leaving the workspace. Don't sit in the same place. So let's say this is if you were working from office, in between meetings, try to take a walk. So you're mentally changing your environment and knowing that it's not the same thing which is going to continue all the time. If you have an option, if you have a silent room that you can go and sit into, please go sit in the silent room, do metacognition 2-3 times in a day. So you kind of clear the mess. It's not like you're waiting for the end of the day to unclog everything. You don't even let things collect over you. So try doing that. That's very, very helpful. Sukshma Vyayama, whatever that we learn in yoga, is a very good form for all of us in freeze response.
What's Sukshma?
Sukshma Vyayama is one of the ways in yoga where we learn to work on different joints in the body. Every joint in the body, in whichever, even if you are bedridden, you can work on these exercises and you can work on it. I mean, you can work on it to get your body better. So let's say, for example, if I was doing Sukshma Vyayama and I was doing my hands, it goes almost like this. Like I'm going very slowly like that. And I'm going into this. I'm slowly opening it up. And I'm doing that. So this is also something similar to what they do in Tai Chi, where they go very, very slowly. So yeah, you kind of move yourself like that. So
what happens by doing this?
If you're a freeze response person, you always feel like you're lonely, you're left back and you freeze and things, you're unfreezing yourself. I don't have an option to go for a walk. In your work desk, start doing your exercises. Start moving yourself. For a person in hypo, I have to do things to bring myself back into resilience. So the only way through it is doing my physical exercises. Tighten your calf muscles, relax your calf muscles, work on, just sitting. Sitting itself, try doing all of these things. So this kind of takes you off from the hypo zone. Even if you had a bad boss call, something made you feel very pathetic, you don't have an option to go for a workout and come back. In your work desk, just sit down and do 10 minutes of Sukshma Vyayama. It really, really helps. So this could be something that they can try and do. Try not to eat a lot of masaladar heavy food, especially if you are working and you have a very strong day for that particular day. Anything which has high amount of masalas again affects your emotions. Why does that happen is we say that the gut is your second brain. So whatever that you're eating, that releases chemicals, and that is where your serotonin also comes from. That is where all your composition also, your nutrition also goes to different parts of the brain. So what you eat, it affects this. Whatever you're thinking here will also affect this. So bad tummy is also because of a lot of times out of stress. Because the digestive system did not get enough attention, did not get energy. So a lot of us have loose motions. A lot of us during anxiousness, we immediately want to release, want to release whatever that we have eaten. So this and this is super connected. So I think whatever your Ayurveda tells, eating the right kind of food, I think really, really, really helps. That is another thing that they can do. Get into structured way of doing things, and as difficult as it might sound, document everything. I think this is one thing that I speak about. We did not get into the nitty-gritties of professional leadership training, but otherwise, one thing that I always tell people is document it. Document everything. Don't be lazy to document what's been spoken about. The more you have it in black and white, even when you question it or you feel you're manipulated, you know what happened in the meeting. So writing minutes of meeting for many of us is the most toughest thing.
And we kind of undermine it. Hey, who's going to write MOM?
Yeah. The more you write MOMs, the more you write it down, it does a quick neurosynapses for you to say what all was discussed today. And tomorrow, even if there is somebody who questions and you feel like I usually get scared about being questioned, I don't know what it is. Writing MOMs is you having it in black and white, saying this is what was discussed. So nobody can play around emotionally and manipulate you or do anything like that.
You also remember better.
Yes, you also remember better, and getting solutions probably is much more faster when you have MOMs in place. So MOMs really help. And if you're working from home, for God's sake, have a designated space of saying this is where I sit and I work. If I'm here, this is my work office, home office, and if I'm not here, I'm doing something else. Including how you dress, what you're wearing, also makes a whole lot of a difference. Wow. Because whatever that I have to tell my brain, I can only tell it through my 5 sensory inputs. If my 5 sensory inputs is telling me, saying I'm feeling very lazy, I'm wearing these kind of clothes, things around me is feeling like this, that is what this will also know.
And it'll give the same command and you will act. So there's a conflict otherwise.
Correct. And then it becomes a vicious cycle. So to break it, make sure you have that right kind of clothes. This is what I wear to work. You're done with your work, change your clothes, go to your eating. You want to behave like a homemaker, you are a homemaker, change clothes. I have another meeting, wear the other clothes and come back and sit here. This is how you draw boundaries. You don't know how to do it with thoughts. Easier way is do it through your body. So the more you kind of practice this, the more you have ability of differentiating in your head. Saying, this is my workspace, this is where I eat, this is where my family belongs. Don't take this there, that here. The more you do it, you merge it, your brain will also merge it.
And become one Chitrana.
Yeah.
Ghat.
Yes. So these are simple things that all of us can do.
We have so much to talk, but we will definitely do more sessions on this. I think today we focus more on emotions, understanding the mind, hyper, and all the tools that you've given us, and which itself is, I'm sure it'll take months and years to practice and keep these things always with us. And another thing that I want to ask you about this is also the body language, because since that's also one of the, the body is, well, I think when the words can't express few things, it's when the body starts expressing few things, right?
Yeah.
Including your tears and all of that is an expression of the body. So how should we understand the body language and use body to express ourselves better?
Yeah. the good part is a lot of this is subconscious. So it's not like that, you can, unless you're building literacy of body language. So you by default give off cues. So people can just read through you.
Firstly,
And-
what is the body language called syllabus?
Okay. So it is again back to whatever we did with tracking. Of saying, can you see the nuances within yourself? If you can see the nuances within yourself, you know what's the emotion that you're feeling. You can use it to change yourself. That same information you'll be able to see the other person as well. Like, let's say, for example, right now I'm talking to somebody, but this person has a very heavy breathing, which means this person is already in hyperarousal. This person will not listen to me.
Oh.
And this person will not logically understand anything at all, because this person is in that palpitation. This person is not liking what I'm doing. So now when I converse, I don't talk words alone. I try to make that person feel safe to come back together. So how do I know? I can watch it through your body. Your words and your body might be telling two different things, but the body cannot lie. So watch the body. You'll know what that person is trying to say. Simple cues of, let's say, I'm sitting like this and I'm talking to you right now. This is one thing. Imagine I did that and I started talking to you. This gives a very different message, right? So you will always know what is that person thinking, what's the emotion that person is showing by reading the person's expression of that emotion. This is an expression of the emotion. Thoughts become emotions, emotions become feelings or sensations. It is this feelings or sensations that I will show.
That's coming out as the
body language. That is the basic interpretation of where does it begin with. How do you stand? How do you sit? How do you breathe? How do you communicate? How do you use your hands? Do you go like this? Do you go like that? You can use all of these cues to communicate what you want to communicate if you learn body literacy and build body language as a second level. But ideally, to begin with, just knowing what is that person trying to show. Is that person talking and showing the same thing? Is it the same thing? You'll know it when you know your own body. So start with this guinea pig. If you can understand this, you'll be able to understand the others as well.
So amazing, Krupalini. Like, I mean, every chapter it's an ocean, literally. Like, So how did you get into what you're doing today? Because in your own journey, you've been at PS. College as a lecturer.
Yeah.
And from 2009 and here in 2019 is when another road started, or I don't know. I mean, how to process this? How did you get into this?
I think, life does a lot of things to us. So just a quick view of what I've done is 2005 to 9 is where I did my engineering degree in PES. And whoever that I am today, I owe it to the Chief Operating Officer of PES. His name is Ajoy Kumar. I think I was very impressed in his way of working. And 2009, when I graduated, I was one of those students where for the first batch, this is the Electronic City campus batch. So we were very nurtured very, 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 very well. So I was given an offer to become an assistant professor at PES even before I got my degree certificate.
Oh, wow.
So I started as a lecturer. Lecturer for 5 years. I was working as a lecturer and then into an assistant professor. I think in their campus, I'm the only person who had a bachelor's degree and who was an assistant professor. I don't think ever before, ever after that they would have given an offer. So I've been one of those people where they had that trust and they gave me that opportunity. So I was there with PES, and then life happened. A lot of things happened. Personally, I was shattered with a lot of things that hit me. And professionally too, I kind of was questioning, saying, is this what I want to do? Is this okay with what I'm doing? And I hit rock bottom. And that was a time that I chose saying, no, I want to kind of make life a little more better. I started doing a little bit of social work. I started understanding emotions by reading it, by interpreting this and figuring this out. Didn't seem like I was finding solutions. Everything was short term. Like I'm reading it, it gives me a dopamine hit, but I don't know what else to do with it. Like, how do I put this into practice? What do I do with it? Everybody is saying like there are solutions, but where is the solution to this? And then I got into the corporate world for some time. We were working with kids for a very long time in education, in edtech. And that's when I realized about this thing called empathy and how important empathy is in today's world. Holding on to that is where I started understanding my own self. and saying, hey, wait, I can't correct myself if I don't understand myself. I have to really, really understand, who am I as a person, and then I can correct this. And fast forward with all the education work, everything that I was doing, United Nations called out for appointment, not appointment. I think United Nations had a kindness conference which was happening in India. So what they did is they asked people from different walks of life to come in and to showcase the work that they were doing. In my head, I already knew SEL. And SEL is Socio-Emotional Skills, which is SDG 4. SDG 4 is Sustainable Development Goal of 4, which is education. And I've been in education only, either as a professor or doing edtech or doing something. I thought, okay, maybe then, it's a very good opportunity I should be able to get through. But the number of levels of interviews that they had, and oh my God, the way that I even applied for it, I think that itself is a big story. Like, I was in Orissa in a nook corner. I'd gone there for a incubation center. I was giving a talk. And then I realized that United Nations has called this out and I wanted to apply. And I'm in that nook corner which has no internet. And I'm trying to put in my application. We were driving for 45 minutes to get to that internet to just upload this, and nothing is happening. I said, okay, done. Maybe next year or so I can try and we'll get through. The next day when I came back to the airport, I realized that they've extended the dates for a couple of days. So I was the last one to probably give in the entry. And they had 60 different countries the delegation was of 60 different countries. So they handpicked, after doing multiple rounds of interviews and talking to us, and said, you know what, we want to have a kindness delegation created from all these various sustainable development goals of whatever people have been working on. That is the first time that I came in contact with United Nations work that I started doing. And 2019, I was fortunate that I got to represent India for SDG 4, the work that I was doing. And the first thing that UN did is, they said, you're all selected for the work that you've done in education or whatever, whichever field that you came with, and you're all kindness ambassadors, but we will teach you kindness as an emotion. So I'm professionally and officially trained on compassion as an emotion. So I haven't done all emotions. Compassion is the crux of the emotions that they trained us on. They said, you are kindness ambassadors, right? So we should teach you what compassion is. And they taught us that
compassion is basically understanding what the other person is going
empathizing
through.
And accepting the person for who they are and giving them an opportunity to change themselves and putting things in place. Yeah. So they did a 12-week curriculum with us of teaching us about compassion. We had I think the curriculum was put together by Sussex, Harvard University, Life University. All of them came together to create, because this was the UN delegation. And I think that was the time that life changed for me. I was like, no, I think this is what it means. The answers that I was seeking was all in this. And all that I had to do was practice them. And I had to practice them if I had to be certified. So I had to practice it. And then I saw the leaps and bounds of things that came out of it. And then we were fortunate to ask UN saying, train us on how to take this forward. So we are all trained on socio-emotional skills by the same set of universities who helped us to learn all of this. So that's the beginning of work. And then today, the last 5 years, is the work that I've been doing across the world with either UN workshops or with Indian workshops. So this is what I tend to do.
Wow. Clearly it's a journey, and I mean, probably a destination that you're chasing. So what next?
What next is I have kept this target saying by 2030 I want to touch 1 million lives, of telling people, saying, take control of your emotions, because by the end of it, if we want to change the world, I personally feel it's only by educating the world.
Absolutely.
And all the sustainable development goals can really be achieved if we get the sustainable development goal 4 in place. Educate the world on what is it that's going wrong, educate the world on how to take control of things. And to do all of that, the root of it, the core of it, is your social skills, your emotional skills, your capacity of resilience. How can you go through the ups and downs and have the capacity to go through it gracefully? And I think that's where it sits. So my goal is that. So that's what I'm trying to chase. I'm trying to chase that number of 1 million lives that I want to touch. And I hope that we can do that.
So all that you mentioned, the social and emotional capability that one should have, and the resilience to go through life, whatever it throws you.
Yeah.
If I can ask you, what is one emotion that anchors all of it? Like, what is the emotion?
I think it would still be compassion. I think it's compassion not necessarily towards the outside world alone. It's compassion towards myself as well. A lot of times we think I have to change the world. No, I have to change my inner world. I have to really, really have the capacity to sit with myself and build that inner world. So compassion, I think that's the core of it all.
Like they say, kindness, throw kindness like confetti.
Yes.
So one is that, second is empathizing, and thirdly, to internalize it and to give them another chance.
Yes.
Through which you are also healing, and like a magnet, you are also attracting the same.
Yes. Yes.
Amazing,
So,
Krupalini.
empathy, compassion, kindness.
Empathy, compassion, kindness
Yeah.
is the atom through which the whole world can be built differently and everything changes there.
Yes.
Amazing. So, truly, I don't know. Guys, how was the session today? It was beautifully so eye-opening, and like me, everybody would have had their own reflections depending on what is subjective. What is that they are wanting to work on and all of that. So until next time, wishing you more power, wishing you more energy to touch more lives, of course, Krupalini. And what book do I give you? Because it's a habit on our show. Like, in the end, we give a gift of book.
Okay.
That's one power which can help them navigate through life, right?
Yeah.
I think you have... Last time we spoke about this.
Yes, I remember. Yes.
You spoke about... I think I was asking your suggestions on
manifestation.
Manifestation coach thing.
Yes.
And then you said, if there is one book that comes close to manifestation, it is Manifest. I'm sure you have this book by now.
Yes, I do.
What do we give you?
This looks interesting. I haven't read this book.
Yes. If you can help me with the book, let me sign that for you.
Yes. I haven't read that book, and it's so surprising the way that the first line of that book goes. It's converted
How to win without fighting.
Yeah, and it says also that it's translated from the German. And I was thinking, why would it be the German? So yeah, it's superlative. I've been curious about that from when we started our conversation.
My God, that's the woman we just met. Like the last line, I can't even read it properly, and she's already gone up till there and focusing on even the minute detailing kind of speaks volumes as to who you are.
Thank you, Rashmi.
So while I sign this, I think through the conversation you've put some light on the kind of books that has interested you, fiction, but any suggestion coming from you would definitely be very legit. What kind of books should people read, people interested in self-help, and a fiction, other category?
Courage to be Disliked. If you can read English, you should read that book. And you should read that book as a textbook, chapter by chapter, because this is one book which is a behaviorist book. It's not a psychologist book, because I think Adler himself does not call himself as a psychologist. So it's not from Freud psychology. It's from Adlerian psychology. And this is a book which says, yes, things have gone wrong. What do you choose to do going forward? So my crux of this entire conversation is because I'm a pro Adler person. I really, really like saying, yeah, things are bad. What can we do? What can we do? We can sit there and we can keep telling this has happened, or we can choose to take a step forward, little by little.
Right.
Adler's Courage to be Disliked and the follow-up book of Courage to be Happy. Over a course of 2 years, you read these two books, you have a master's degree in your head of how to live
book
life.
Which has a red circle,
yes,
and the yellow one being the
happy one. Correct. So this is definitely a book that has to be read. But if you have teenagers in life, and if you feel like this is going to be a very heavy book, because Adler is a very heavy personality. He kind of lifts you by the neck, holds you to the wall, and gives you one tight thing and says, you screwed it up. So he's known to be that person. But yeah, in spite of it, you'll go back and you'll say, yeah, correct only what he said, but I didn't like the way you said. So I'm going to try to correct myself. So another book that I always tell people is read this book called The Book of Joy. The Book of Joy is a conversation between Desmond Tutu and the Dalai Lama. This talks about the same set of emotions from a perspective of spirituality and secular ethics. So for kids who are looking at having global citizenship as a goal, they don't want to be constrained by boundaries. They don't want to look at life like that. I think secular ethics is the way forward, and all of us who read books, The Book of Joy is a great book to read. So this is another book that I definitely would recommend. I would also recommend, if you are reading Indian fiction, like I said, I think a good book would definitely be anything of a Ruskin Bond book. Palace of Illusions is very, very good as a fictional book only if you haven't gone through polygamy or people have broken your trust. Don't read that book, because you'll kind of start questioning everything from that perspective of saying, what if? Is this the same thing that's happening to me? If you've been cheated on, then no. But otherwise, it's a good written book. I really, really like the way it's written. Amish Tripathi's books are also a good set of books that we can read. So I've given a bunch of recommendations.
And what I also loved is you gave a disclaimer as to who is it for, because usually books are misunderstood. Like, no, there is no one thing fitting for all, right?
True.
Like, so thank you for your suggestions. And kindly nominate 3 personalities that we should have on Just Curious.
Okay. I think I gave the names last time, right?
This time for English.
I would still stick to the same.
All the 3?
All the 3 same names. Sonam Wangchuk forever. I remember last time I mentioned Sonam Wangchuk and people didn't even know who he is. And today I'm sure the world knows who Sonam Wangchuk is. So Sonam Wangchuk, the Dalai Lama, and Sushmita Sen.
Like Dalai Lama, I don't know. See, so what surprises me is there are a few things that I would have written as my content cues. And at times, even if I would have forgotten to name them, somehow through the conversation, those names come in. And I'm not even kidding you.
Yeah.
Today about happiness, I had written 3 quotes. And out of that, one quote is, happiness is not something ready-made. It comes to you from your own actions, is what Dalai Lama has said. And then, like, somehow everything is like connected through your suggestions and what you also mentioned. So,
yeah. I think he is a person who is a personification of kindness.
Definitely would put in all the efforts and believe that he will come here someday. So let me sign something for you.
Yes.
How was Just Curious English for you, Krupalini?
Oh, very good. Like, I don't do podcasts at all, Rashmi. I don't know if you're aware. This is the only podcast that I've come, and this is the only one that I work with. Because I really like the way that you engage, and I know it comes from a very noble space. It doesn't come from anything else. There's no other complexes with what you do. So for me, it really feels nice. So that's why I've also chosen to come back again, and I would always come back to your podcast because I know it's in the right place. It comes from the right place.
Thank you so much for these like encouraging words, which will always be a reminder for me whenever I lack some.
Oh, no, you should not. You should see how much people really like your podcast. And I've heard from a couple of people myself. So I think it's going really well. And the way that you've also taken it to the region in the Kannada language, I think is also very, 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 very beautiful and precious. So kudos to you and all the best, Rashmi.
Thank you, Krupalini. Now with Just Curious English. Right now with English, the whole world is my map. And I will put my head down in the right spirit. Hopefully, I think I will choose the right path and with the proper emotional, understanding and my vision and all of that. Yeah. I will continue to be a good student through my podcast. I'm sure. And to all the listeners, I've seen you personally as well. So I want them to know that this is honest effort. I've seen you put that honest effort. And you definitely deserve to grow. You definitely deserve to hold that lamp and say, from the south of our country, this is somebody who did this. And across the country too, I don't think anybody is doing it with a genuine reason of how you do it. So kudos to you, and we will all keep rooting for you. Thank you so much. It really means a lot. Thank you. And let me sign this for you. Sure. what do I write to a woman who knows it all?
Oh, no. That's still
But
an
still
empty
with
space.
a space left to always keep the learnings alive through the curiosities of your mind.
Thank
So,
you.
Krupalini, I've written, Dear Krupalini, you're a joy to interact with, enriching and making us thinking beings. So, more power to you, Rapid Rashmi. Just
Thank
curious.
you. Thank you. Thank you. It means a lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. This episode's dessert partner is Polar Bear. Polar Bear, the ice cream sundae zone. Polar Bear is now present in 160 outlets, 30 cities, and in 5 states. If you're a vegetarian, that too 100% vegetarian, Polar Bear is for you. The menu has 40 plus ice cream sundaes, and all the ice creams are made from pure milk. What are you waiting for? Visit and keep sharing the Sunday love. So guys, how was our conversation today? Definitely looking forward to see in the comment section as to what were your aha moments, or like what were your reflections as to, oh, why didn't somebody tell this to me before? And also, of course, which part of our conversation kind of changed your perspective towards life is something that we look forward to. Until next time, yes, Krupalini, you're available on Instagram as Krupalini Swamy only,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, and you're on Facebook,
YouTube.
Insta,
Yeah. LinkedIn.
Yeah,
I think.
and X.
No, not on X.
Not on
I've
X?
chosen not to be on X.
Oh, quite understandable.
Yeah.
With all the firefighting happening on the platform. Thank you. Until
Thank
next time.
Thank
Cheers.
you. Thank you,
Thank you,
Rashmi.
guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.